Good morning, everybody. We're back at it again. Check this peach out right here. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me for another video. So today what we're gonna do, you see behind me this 1967 four-door Galaxie. You might be asking yourself, what in the world are you gonna do with this? It's a four-door. Nobody cares about four doors. Well, I would agree with you, but as you can see, it's a very solid car. It's got most of the trim. That's a good grille, good bumpers. That headlight bucket is in great shape. And if you look these up on the internet, they're pretty pricey. Fenders are good, hood is good, windshield, doors. It's got a nice set of forward wheels, the trunk, rear bumpers, rear tail lights. Under the hood, we got this Ford 390 FE motor, and I think it's paired to a C6 transmission. There's another 67 Galaxie on this property that is in need of a lot of the parts that are on this vehicle. But let's just take a look at how nice this car is right here. These are the original door panels. These look to be like the original seats, front and rear. But look at this dash. This dash is in great shape. You can hear the horn, so battery works a little bit. It's got the original radio, all the ducting right here, this huge ashtray, these bezels over here. So right here we got another 1967 Galaxie, but this is not a four-door. This is a convertible 500. I don't think it's an XL package. The story with this vehicle, it was a running and driving 67 Galaxie, and I think it was a yellow color. I think they call it Sunrise Surprise or Sunshine Yellow or something. But it was running and driving, and he decided to take it apart, and I mean take it apart. As you can see, there is nothing on this vehicle. I mean, the engine's in, the headers are installed, tranny's in also. No steering column, no wiring loom, no line whatsoever, no brake lines, no fuel line, nothing on this vehicle. It was completely torn apart. The frame was done, it got repainted. All the hardware that it would take to put this all back together is missing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna tear that other vehicle apart, use every nut and bolt we can to put this back together and get this back on the road. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to see if this thing even runs. Now, I know for a fact that the fuel system is junk, because as you can see, this line right here is going to the fuel pump, and it does look like it has a newer fuel pump. Carburetor looks like it's been rebuilt. It's got new ignition parts. I know for a fact it has a new points and condenser set. So somebody was trying to get this thing running. Now we're gonna get it running and driving, because I need to sell this engine and trans to recoup up some of the money for all these other parts that I need. There's so much missing off that car that it would just made sense to buy this, because like I said, we got it at a good price. While the battery charges, we're gonna go ahead and check some fluids to see how bad this car really is. All right, here's your dipstick. It barely reads any oil. Well, tranny has fluid in it. That's a good sign. We're gonna go ahead and break into this fuel system. Now, this is not the original fuel line. This is just some rubber line that they ran to the back of the tank, I'm sure. So I'm assuming that line is either plugged up or junk, but we're not gonna worry about that. There's actual fuel in it. Why? We're gonna help it out. We're gonna put some juice in the carb. I don't know how much is actually in there. Got it everywhere, so it can start a nice fire. So it kind of started, and it misfires. I bet you they got the firing order wrong. All right, so the firing order is 1542-6378. And number 1 cylinder is aquí. So let's check to see if that's 1. It says 1 right there. So 1. And the way Ford works, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was number 1 right here. This one should be number 5. It is. So this one should be 4. It is. 2, 6, 3, and then 7, 8. 6, 3, 7, and 8. So that is 7, and that is 8. So that should be okay. Well, it's kind of idling. Like I said, I'm not really gonna check to see why it's misfiring. I just gotta get it moved so I can get to work on this thing. Alrighty, let's see how this thing drives. If it drives, hopefully I don't kill it. Because if I kill it, oh man, the brakes suck. Don't die, don't die. Alright, back this thing up. It goes forward and reverse. That's a good thing. Brakes don't work. That's a bad thing. But like I said, we're not worried about any of that. We're not gonna use none of that. Alright. Now that I got it up in the air on the jack stand, what we're gonna start with is we're gonna start with the interior on this vehicle. We're gonna start stripping away everything that isn't a bad 67 convertible Galaxie and put it on a bad 67 convertible Galaxie. So let me explain to you, now that I got the dash apart, why we ended up buying this parts car. So that vehicle over there is missing every single one of these little clips right here. These little retainers for the screws when the dash goes back together. These that hold like the lighter, the radio, the instrument cluster. It's missing all of that. Imagine what a pain in the butt's gonna be to find all that stuff or find replacements for it. I'm sure you can, but it's gonna nickel and dime you. It's gonna be a lot of money. Alrighty, so I couldn't find these bolts to save my life. There's a bucket of bolts over there, but none of them seem to really go anywhere. We're gonna finally install a part onto this piece of junk after it had been sitting for many moons. Alrighty, so when they first called me out to check out this car, that was the one thing I said, well, I don't see anything else I can install. Let me try to install, that's where the brake pedal, the pivot goes. I said, let me try to install at least that. At least I could put something on there. That's when I got into it. I'm like, man, there's no hardware. There's nothing. After, I think it's been 1.5 years or maybe even 2 years, I finally installed that part. Having that other car there and having me disassembling it is helping me figure out where everything actually goes, because I didn't take it apart. So now that I'm taking that one apart, it kind of showing me where all the stuff goes on this car, which is a good thing. But anywho, thank you guys once again for joining me. I got a lot of work to do on this vehicle. I'm just glad I finally have a direction. I have stuff I can take off of that one, put on this one. So I'm gonna continue disassembling that and transferring parts little by little, and we should get this thing running soon. But thanks again for joining me. Please like and subscribe if you're liking the content. I'm gonna continue working. Thank you once again, everybody's been watching. Greatly appreciate you. I'll catch you guys on the next one.